name is Samitriel Anderson, and I have been in foster care since 2018. And if I had to guess, I would say I have had maybe 50 kids come through my home, not necessarily to stay, but maybe just for overnight or for a respite or, something like that. So I would say about 50. The young lady that left maybe a couple of years ago, she struggled. She really struggled. I think I got her when she was like 14 or 15. And when I got her, they said she was this and she was going to run away and she would curse you out and she would this and they just had all horrible stories. And so I said, okay, I'll give it a try, So she came into my house and she was tough. She was tough. She was a brick wall. But that was just her front, So I kind of left her alone. I told her, gave her my demands and everything, but I kind of left her alone. And I started my girl talk, and I started, she didn't say much, with the girl talk. It would be me doing the talking. And so then I had another girl come along with her. And so we would do the girl talk. The other girl talked a lot. But this young lady, it took maybe about a year or so before I kind of noticed, all kids are different. They show emotions differently, but one day I got hurt and, she just, Miss Smith, I'm a cook, and I was like, well, you cooking? What are we having, And I found out she could cook really good. So I said, okay, so this is your thing, okay. And so she cooked that night, and from then on, she started cooking. And so that's how we connected, because she wanted to cook, and I never knew that. She never came out and said it until I got sick, and she started cooking, And so then I would be like, okay, what you cooking tonight? Well, and that's how we started kind of talking, and she started opening up to me, She started texting me and, Miss Demetra, I need this, and this for dinner tonight. Okay, but I need to ask you a question. So I would get my questions answered, and she would get the food that she want to cook. But she was tough. She was really tough. But she has graduated from high school. She went to a college and got her phlebotomy license, and she's working and doing good. She's doing very good. I've had some struggles with some teenagers, but at the same time, like I said, I'm a talker. So we're going to talk through this, I'm not yelling at you, when you get ready to calm down, and then we can talk about it, but they're teenagers. They're going through, you got to realize they're hormonal. They don't know what, where their life is going, who, they're going to be. They don't know what they're going to be. They don't know where they're going to be tomorrow, maybe, so I just try to, reassure them, okay, you're coming to my home. It's your choice if you want to stay here. It's up to you. And so we go from there. And most of the kids that come to my home, they don't want to leave. They cry when it's time for them to leave, So it just works out. I like teenagers. And have patience with the kids, because they're going to struggle. And then if you just be patient, they'll straighten out. They'll start to level out. But you as the foster parent have to have the patience and be able to look at each child as their own individual. Because you can't group this child with this child. You can't group all foster kids together and say, oh, all foster kids are like this, because they're not. All foster kids are not. Each one is different, and you just have to hone in and find that difference and find their strengths and kind of help them build their strengths. And then with my teenagers also, when they work, I would let them get a job. And so I would charge them gas money to take them to work, but I would save their gas money. I would be their bank. So I would save their gas money. They didn't know I was saving their gas money. I would save their gas money, put it in an envelope, and then I would tell them, okay, you can deposit something into your bank if you want to. So they would, make deposits weekly. And then when they've left, I'd give them everything that they've saved and their gas money. They would complain about the gas money, and I would tell them, I don't need your money. but it's just the principle. It's teaching you how to pay your bills, how to, know that you have a bill to pay and pay it on time and just be responsible, but they would be happy when they got that money back. So it taught them a lot. With the kids that I have now, I just like the fact that they're learning. They are going to be productive adults, and it's like if you're a carpenter and you're building something and then you see it at the end and you're like, oh my God, I did that. I made that, it took me some time, but this is something that I did. So that's how it makes me feel. And it has helped me to grow into who I am. I don't think I would be able to run this place if I didn't have the knowledge of going through foster care, of learning the different types of kids and the different personalities and just dealing with people. And so that's my passion, because, it dawned on me when I first started doing this. These kids that I'm taking care of, they're going to be taking care of me one day. They're going to be running the country or whatever. I need to make sure that they are going to take care of me and that they are going to run this country and that they are going to, the decisions that they make, they're going to be good decisions, So that's how I think of it. That's how I think of it when I'm taking care of kids and I'm caring for kids. If you have a desire to, there are a lot of kids that need help. And I tell people all the time, the kids that are in foster care, they're not in foster care because it's not their fault they're in foster care. So you can't hold them, but you can help them. You didn't raise these kids, but going forth, you're going to have a hand in developing them. Seeing them grow up to be adults, to, grow into who they're going to be. That's the best thing for me, is seeing them grow into who they're going to be, knowing that they have been through all of this and they still make it. They're still going to make it. It's going to be rough. Every day's not going to be Sunday, but you know that I'm going to make it. Because when you leave my house, that's what you're going to know. It might be rough, but you're going to make it. You're going to be okay.